Analytics really is the discovery of data, looking at data to solve problems, to be able to help business leaders and decision makers make decisions based on that data. Hi, my name is Dan Meyer, and I am the CEO of BPO Elite, and I'm also have a new company I'm starting called DMAI, which is short for Daniel Meyer Analytics Inc. And both companies really are about analytics. And so what I want to talk to you today about is what is analytics and why is it important, and especially why is analytics so important here in the Philippines today. And here in the BPO industry, you've had here in the Philippines, our business process outsourcing industry, or mainly the call centers, the companies that are taking work from overseas and doing it here in the Philippines. The industry's been booming the last few years, and it's created a lot of jobs. But one area where it hasn't been able to keep the jobs that are out there is in analytics. And analytics, again, is the data analysis work. And what people are doing to be able to provide that analytic skill set is something that's been kind of lacking here in the Philippines. For example, imagine in a call center where you have thousands of calls coming from overseas every day, and trying to figure out when to staff the right number of people. How many people should be on the phone at a certain time to answer the calls, and how many agents need to be able to be there in case you have overflow, and how do you manage your schedule. That's all based on analytics. And so it's an example of how you need to have that understanding of analytics to be a manager in a call center. So to that end, schools have started implementing these kind of programs. You see a couple schools that have implemented a service management minor, which allows business or students in different degrees that may end up in the BPO environment. It allows them to prepare before they graduate for these kind of jobs. You also see schools offering courses in things like statistics or in different economics backgrounds that are offering more analytics, again, more the actual problem solving. Being able to use the data to be able to analyze it and report your findings. And that's really something you're starting to see pick up here as well. And so you're seeing some companies starting to figure out how to bring more analytics into the businesses here. And one way to do that is through trainings like we do, but really there's an opportunity here where you have a fantastic workforce of educated Filipinos who speak American-style English and have a very great work ethic, that are working in the BPO industry and in call center jobs and in tech support jobs. But the opportunities to start going into analyst jobs is something that's still very, very new. People ask me a lot, why aren't more people doing this? Why isn't it something that's happening on a regular basis if it's such a big deal? Well, analytics is a new term. It's something that's kind of popped up in the last 5, maybe 10 years, and it's becoming more and more important because you have to think about all the data that we generate every day. I've heard a few places that, in 2 days, we generate more data than we generated in the entire human existence up till these last 2 days. You think about all the times that you go online, that you do something on your Facebook, or you use an iPhone to buy something, or you text your friends. All that data is stored. Someone has to analyze that, to look at the patterns and look at the behavior, to be able to figure out how to sell certain products, or how to take advantage of new opportunities. And that's where analytics comes in. Analytics is that discipline that allows you to figure out how to make these decisions. And that's really based on understanding the principles of analytics. And it's not something that is out there in the market right now. In fact, I believe that at this point, we're still the only group that's providing training just on data analytics or business analytics like this. And so it's something that's on the cutting edge. It's definitely happening in the US and in India. But here in the Philippines, it's still very, very new. So I developed a training program, an Introduction to Analytics training program that addresses just those things. I take people who have the right mix of background and education, who have the right interests, and just need some polish and training to help them find these jobs as analysts. If you're to go onto jobstreet.com right now and type in the word analyst, you're going to see over 1,000 job postings. But you start looking at the job postings, you're trying to figure out, how do I get the training? How do I get the experience I need to apply for these jobs? Well, again, that's where we come in. And so I've been here in the Philippines for a little over 7 months, and I've trained about 70 people, mostly fresh grads. And I'm proud to say that most of them have found good jobs as analysts in companies like Accenture or Convergys or Genpact. So the training that we provide will give you an introduction to analytics that will help prepare you for these opportunities out there in the workforce. You know, it really is pretty simple. If you have an IT background or a computer science major, or you just got a love of technology, you'd like to solve problems, you like to figure out how things work, you've got the natural background of an analyst. And so what it really means is you just have to find, again, that polish or that fine tuning that will help you unlock a career path. There's going to be more and more analyst jobs opening all the time. So it's a very good field to get into. And even if you don't become an analyst, understanding how to use analytics is important for any business decision maker, whether you be an owner, a CEO, a manager, a team lead, anybody who has to make decisions, you're going to need data to make those decisions. And understanding how to analyze that data effectively is something that you need to do. And it's not as hard as it sounds. I've managed to develop a pretty unique approach, and it's based on my experience. I spent 15 years working as an analyst, a senior analyst with Wells Fargo Bank in the US. And during that time I learned a lot about analytics and about how to use analysis to help a business be very successful. And so I've combined that with my love of teaching and my education background. And now I've developed this training class that I think is very, very innovative and very, very unique. And it can take, like I said, people with the right background, with the right interest, and help them turn on a career as an analyst. So in the end, it's very simple. So one question that I get asked quite often is why the Philippines? I love the Philippines. It's a great country to be in. There's opportunity here that is unprecedented right now in the world. If you look at the growth of the Philippine economy, it's one of the fastest growing economies in the world right now. And you look at why. You look at the demographics of the country. The average age here is only 22, 23 years old. So it's a very youthful country with a very young workforce. You look at the system of higher education, the colleges and universities. They're very, very good at producing a lot of talent every year. You combine that with the English that's spoken here. It's an American-style English, and the American culture is very prevalent here. So you have all these factors that make the Philippines a very unique spot in the world that allows it to be the outsourcing call center capital of the world. And because of that, the opportunity is huge. So I took advantage of that, and I decided to leave my career at Wells Fargo. I had a great job, very satisfying, well-paid position there, but I decided, you know, what I really want to do is come to the Philippines and teach people to be analysts so that we're able to take advantage of this opportunity and give people a chance to have a better life. And so what I've been doing, as I mentioned before, for about 7 months now is training people, and we've had a huge impact. And I look forward to doing a lot more of it this coming year, as we've already got training classes set up to be able to do more training for analysts here in the Philippines. Okay, so there's two easy ways to get a hold of me. The best is through Facebook. We have a Facebook page for both BPO Elite, and it's BPOELITE, as well as our website, bpoelite.com. Or you can go to DMAIPH, DMAI standing for Daniel Meyer Analytics Inc., PH on Facebook, and that way you can follow what we're doing, follow along to what the training's all about, learn more about what other trainees are up to. And if you want to learn more, you can contact us through there. You also can email me directly. You can email me at Dan Meyer, it's DANMEYER, at bpoelite.com or Dan Meyer at DMAIPH.com.